For all the latest updates, subscribe to News9.
Florida reported more than 9,500 new cases, up from almost 9,000 on Friday, the previous record. The spike has led state officials to tighten restrictions on business again, as Texas also did this past week. Officials have ordered to shut shops again to contain the virus. The White House on Saturday denied that US President Donald Trump was briefed on US intelligence that Russia's military offered bounties to Taliban-linked militants to kill US troops in Afghanistan, with Democratic rival Joe Biden criticizing Trump for failing to take action against Moscow. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany said in a statement that neither the President nor the Vice President Mike Pence were briefed on the alleged Russian bounty intelligence. Moscow has been accused of trying to give money to the Taliban as part of its campaign to destabilize America and its allies. According to reports, the Russian intelligence unit behind the attempted murder in Salisbury of the former double agent Sergei Skripal, who secretly offered to pay Taliban-linked fighters to kill British and American soldiers in Afghanistan. Donald Trump's new order on the H-1B visa has made life difficult for many Indians living in USA. The order has affected many IT professionals working in America. Trump's order bars hundreds of thousands of people from getting employed or joining work-study programs in the US. It restricts American companies from hiring talented foreigners and blocks spouses of foreigners working in the US from entering the country. US President Donald Trump has signed an executive order calling for protesters who target monuments to be imprisoned. The measure says anyone who damages a public statue must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Trump's order also calls for withholding federal funds from local jurisdictions and police departments that fail to stop such mob rule. A number of US statues have been pulled down since the police killing of an unarmed black man, George Floyd. Britain will be ready to quit its transitional arrangements with the European Union on Australia terms if no deal on their future relationship is reached, Prime Minister Boris Johnson told his Polish counterpart Mateusz Morawiecki. Britain left the bloc on Jan 31st. A transition period during which Britain remains in the European Single Market and Customs Union expires on December 31st, and pressure is mounting to agree a free trade deal before then. The UK will have to assume the consequences of weaker economic ties with the EU at the end of the Brexit process, German Chancellor Angela Merkel said, hardening her tone amid faltering negotiations on an agreement on future ties. After pulling out of the EU on 31st January, the UK has been working with Brussels on setting up an advantageous trade relationship with the European bloc after the transition period, which will be up at the end of this year. Britain will ditch a 14-day quarantine period for people arriving from countries which are at lower risk for COVID-19. Official travel advice against all but essential travel outside Britain will also be eased for some countries and regions. Spain will be upholding a ban on cruise liners from docking at its ports to stop the spread of COVID-19, according to a ministerial order published on Saturday. Cruise liners carrying thousands of passengers regularly stop off at ports in the Balearic Islands, the Canary Islands, Barcelona and Malaga, but were prohibited when Spain went into lockdown on March 14th.